Good evening everybody, Calm Biker here. Just out on an evening ride. I'm going to go and fill up with petrol. Got an early start in the morning to ride down to Parsons Drove, Parsons Nose, Parsons Drove, whatever it's called, where the custom car and bike show is. And I thought I'd take the opportunity just to record a quick video and ask you a question. And the question is, do you do high vis? Now, I don't particularly. There's reflective piping on this, and it's a black jacket with white stripes on, so it's kind of noticeable during the day, and the reflective stuff should make it noticeable at night. But I don't do the whole bright yellow jacket thing. When I get the observer stuff done, once I feel my shoulders back up to the point of being able to go and do that again, then you know, for the observer stuff, I may well be wearing a Heron Hull and East riding advanced motorcyclists shiny jacket, but we'll see. Anyway, I asked for a reason, and the reason is to do with this piece of road. So last night went out for a walk with Mrs. Khan. We had a curry, takeaway curry from the Indian restaurant. Oh, it was lovely, but we felt very, very full and decided to go and walk it off. And over there is the Beverley Beck, a lot of water, and we walked back down here and up the steps and onto the top of this hill here, walking down this side bit, which is a path and a cycle path together. So we joined up with it. Not that you need to know this detail. About there. So as we were coming down here, getting near the bottom, down to the new bit that used to be a roundabout and now has, allegedly, I haven't counted them because I've not got enough fingers and toes, but allegedly has 43 sets of lights where there used to be a roundabout with 5 exits. And this bike, CB125, whizzed past us here. And he whizzed into this bit. And I was back there watching him whiz around this bit too fast. And he hit this curb. You can, you might not be able to see it at night, but you can actually see during the daytime the marks. He hit that curb. We heard him hit it. Kind of a nasty scrape of metal along concrete. And then we saw, because we couldn't see him, we saw a shower of sparks as the bike went over and skidded down the road. Now, I ran. I thought I best get over there, so I ran down. It took me about 30 seconds to get there because it's quite a distance, and I had to get across the junction. And I got to him, and he was just trying to pick his bike up as I got to him, so I helped him get his bike up. And pushed his bike off the road. And got him off the road because he was just stood on the road. I think he was a little bit shocked by what had just happened. And there were a couple of things that came to mind. One was he had no high vis stuff on. He was wearing all black. No reflective, no high vis. Which is fair enough. And his bike was black as well. I think the only bit of colour on it was his L plate. And he was just in the middle of the road. And the reason I ran, I thought, if he's under that bike, you know, he needs help getting out, doesn't he? But as I ran up to him, you could barely see him. And people come off that junction pretty quick. So he was kind of lucky, really. It was about this time, about 10 o'clock. You know, there is traffic around here, so if somebody had been motoring it out that junction, or somebody had been trying to beat the red light, I'm not sure if that's what he was trying to do or not, they'd have been on top of him before they had a chance to react. Because you just couldn't see him, because of all black bike, black helmet, black clothes. Just couldn't see him at all. It just make you think a little bit about the high vis. You know, is that the one situation where actually it could be very useful to have it? I mean, high vis does make you more visible, but I don't particularly like it. And I think in some people, when they wear high vis, they seem to think that they are suddenly visible, where, you know, a lot of car drivers aren't even looking out the window, so it wouldn't matter. I mean, to give you an example, Tut Biker, another Yorkshire motor vlogger, I'm sure you've seen around. If you haven't seen him, have a look at T'_Biker. I'll put a link down below. He rides a blood bike, and it's fully liveried. It looks like a police bike, and he wears his white helmet and his high vis and everything. He actually looks like a policeman, and apparently he gets the effect of looking like a policeman quite often too, where people will start slowing down and what have you, because staying behind him because they think he's a policeman. But he can go around roundabouts and have people cut him off on the roundabout. So even in all that gear, with a fully liveried bike with all shiny bits and high vis on him, high vis on the bike and everything, people still don't see him. So I think if you are wearing high vis, I suppose you've got to make sure you're wearing it with no assumption that it's going to help you at all. The other side of it was the bit that was scary, but the lad got away with it. Really did get away with it. He had no real protective gear on. He had a helmet, obviously, that's a legal requirement. The jacket didn't look particularly protective, and he was wearing normal jeans, which, even though he was probably doing maybe 30 miles an hour when he crashed, they got hold, and he said he could feel liquid dribbling down his leg. I did say to him, I hope it's blood, I hope you haven't messed yourself. Luckily he laughed, he had a bit of a sense of humour. And he didn't have any gloves on, and that was the worst part. He said, oh, I should have put my gloves on, they're in my top box, which was a bit silly. I said to him, put your blooming gloves on next time. So he was really lucky to get away with it. If you know who he was, by the way, it was the Friday night. I don't even know what the date is, I never do, but it's kind of middle of June. It's getting near the end of June now, 20-somethings probably. Let me think. 22nd is Tuesday because I've got my X-ray then, so it'll be about the 18th of July or something. So if you know somebody who's got a black Honda, I think it's a CBF 125, who came off on the Friday night, just have a word with him and find out if he's okay. So it'd just be interesting to know. We thought at first his bike was alright. It seemed to have a scraped up clutch lever, a bent gear lever, and a bit of damage to the panels. I thought he'd flipped it at first because there was damage to the fairing on both sides, that half fairing that they have. But he did tell me he's fallen off it 4 times. I said maybe you might want to consider a car. Or crash protection, but it's a bit too late for that now. But as he was getting ready to head off, we were chatting to him for about probably 20 minutes, half an hour, just to make sure he's okay. As he was getting ready to go off, we realised that his handlebars and his front wheel were no longer pointing the same way. No lights? Nope, not got it yet. Nope, not turned his lights. Has he turned his lights on, or is it his brake lights? Anyway. High vis? Headlights help. Anyway, yeah, if you know who he is, just find out if he's alright for us. Just make sure he is okay and don't want anything horrible happen to him. And let me know in the comments. Anyway, I'll shut up now. I'm going to go and get me petrol. So thanks for watching, everyone. Ride safe. And I'll talk to you all again soon. Saturday night, screaming drunk ladies. At least they're not punching me in my helmet. This helmet, not the other one.